Okay, I know I reviewed this movie, Spider-Man 2, but I felt like I didn't, what's the word, trashed it enough. Because this movie is garbage. Before I talk about how Spider-Man is very out of character, and doesn't, to a point he doesn't really feel like Spider-Man, I'm first going to talk about the story and the huge, severe plot hole in the story that makes no fucking sense at all. And, so the story starts off pretty good, and so the Spider-Man's character started off pretty good. He's delivering pizza. He's running late, so he delivers them as Spider-Man instead of delivering them as Peter Parker. And his job is on the line because he's been late several times for delivering pizza. So he figures he can speed time up by swinging as Spider-Man. But then he has to save kids because they're too stupid to look both ways before crossing the street. And they act like little robots saying, "Thanks, Mr. Spider-Man." And Spider-Man acts like one of those, mocking for superheroes, says, "Stay out of the trees, citizens." Oh. And he says, "No playing in the streets, citizens." And he says, "Alright, kids, no playing in the streets." And they say, "Yes, Mr. Spider-Man." Okay, what kid calls a adult mister, especially when it's a total stranger, besides a teacher? I don't think anyone talks like that. And why does Spider-Man talk like Captain fucking America? Since when is he Captain America? He's not. Look, I can't imagine Captain America saying something like that, or Superman, because they're supposed to be the pinnacle of good cheesiness of a superhero. Heck, or even Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel saying that, like as in, also known as Shazam now, saying that. Can you imagine saying that? Because he wants to be like Superman in the comics. Also in the cartoon he wanted to be like Superman, but Superman's like his idol. So, or I can imagine Cameron Danvers hit Captain Marvel saying that, or the original Captain Marvel, owned by Marvel, saying that. I can't imagine. If I strain my brain really, really hard, I can imagine Tony Stark saying that, or the Hulk. But Spider-Man? Come on, that's like Deadpool saying something like that. It just sounds wrong, or Batman saying something like that. It just doesn't sound wrong. Just sounds wrong. I mean, it doesn't sound right. So anyway, as you figured, because of that one, that thing that he had to do took less than a second, and he's 5 minutes late. What the hell was he doing on screen? He's like 5 or 10 minutes late, and I'm wondering, how's that possible? I'm wondering. And he's, well, it took him a while to get stuff in the closet without falling out. And, this little bitch just says, just chewing gum, saying, "You're late. I'm not paying for those. I'm talking like a black lady." When I'm clearly a white person. It's opposite world, I guess. I'm sure you're not. She talks like a alcoholic black lady. A drunk black lady, or a junkie black lady, or a junkie late person. Anyone that's not white or sober, as a saying, you can't be white and sober and sound like that. So anyway, he just leaves a pizza and gets fired from his job, and he begs for his boss for another chance, and his boss just rips the tag off of him, and it's so depressing. You really feel sorry for Peter Parker so far. So far you feel. Notice how I said so far. Yeah, you start feeling depressed. You start depressing I'll tell you when it stops feeling bad for him. Like in the first act, you feel completely guiltful enjoying this film because you feel so bad for Peter Parker and how he's not enjoying being Spider-Man anymore. Now there's another problem. When the hell did he enjoy being Spider-Man in the first film? I mean, he showed very little on-screen time in the first film, and we're supposed to expect that he ever enjoyed being Spider-Man? When did this happen? Okay, you gotta show something before you show him struggling. If you only show him being miserable as Spider-Man, you should at least show us that he at some point enjoyed being Spider-Man. Like a flashback or something. But no, they don't do that. They don't show him as a flashback and enjoying being Spider-Man. They don't. They expect you to. They just want you to accept it. Well, I don't accept it. No, I'm getting all my anger out over this film. So you can leave or you can stay. This film has traumatized me enough and enough anger has built up over the years. So there's nothing stopping me, okay? Mm-hmm. And I said that the nicest way I could say that. Is that nice enough? Yeah. Okay. So he's also is also behind his rent. This is actually a nice touch, and he chooses to take the rest of the money to go see Mary Jane's play. He runs late because Spider-Man stuff. And this is a shot that I really like when it's playing a little like a sad melody, like a really sad one. The lyrics go, "You try to be someone, but you forget who you are. You try to fill some emptiness." And I sing the song's called "All Your Bad Days" or something like that. All your bad days will end. It's a really good song. And close the door. Thank you. And he's staring he's shirtless, looking naked, Peter shirtless, and trying to decide if he wants to go to the play as Spider-Man or as Peter Parker, and he's trying to decide which way, and he can tell, and all of this is all emotions, and not really talking in this thing, but just sad music playing, and you can tell he's not sure if he really enjoys more if he sings. He can tell he's not sure if he'd rather be Spider-Man as a person, as the normal person, or Peter Parker as the normal person. And he goes as Peter Parker, and then he ends up stopping robbers and going as Spider-Man and change back into Peter Parker costume. He stops a car robbery off screen, but shown in the 2.1 cut. Yeah, there's a lot of subtle changes in the 2.1 cut, and personally, I think it's a better film because Spider-Man feels closer to feeling like Spider-Man, and he talks to this guy in the elevator, and this guy is having a pitch meeting with him of how Spider-Man making accessories off of his name, making money off of his Spider-Man name identity, and he can clearly tell that's definitely the real Spider-Man, not just some guy in a costume who he sings as Spider-Man, unlike in the theatrical cut, which I found it more amusing in the 2.1 cut than in the theatrical cut. So, but I guess I'm in one of the small amount of people who enjoy the 2.1 cut find it more humorous than what I like about the 2.1 cut. It feels like it's at least trying to give you it feels like it's trying hard. It feels like it's trying to give you an attempt at making the movie humorous. So like the first one did. Does it fail? Yes. Oh, badly fails. Just like the first one did. But the sequel theatrical cut doesn't even try to make the humor, to add humor in the film. It just decides to make you, it tries to make you depressed as possible, and you're feeling depressed, but you're not feeling depressed for the right kind of depression. You're feeling depressed because you feel like your subconscious is aware that you're wasting your life on the film, and you're just depressed over it, and not depressed for Peter Parker as much as you're depressed because you decide to pop in the DVD player and watch this piece of shit. It's not like depressing as in Joker. It's depressing as in The Last Airbender. M. Night Shyamalan's version of The Last Airbender. Or M. Night Shyamalan's, where is it? The Happening. Oh, I feel the evil. Put it back in the player. Put it back in the, no, not the player. Put it back in the DVD's place. I feel the evil. That almost killed me. I felt like it was killed me from the inside. My heart rate was going up, and I was having really negative flashbacks to that movie. Well, having the negative flashbacks to the Last Airbender movie. In fact, I'm still having it, but it's going away now. Not lay in the water. No. The cold. The water. Now I remember why I was afraid of the water for so long. It was because lay in the water. And also because of The Last Airbender. Get together, Jake. You can do this. So, I freaked out a little. Maybe because I was trying to remember why I remember why I went for a period of time being afraid of the one taking a shower, because I saw Lady in the Water in M. Night Shyamalan's Last Airbender movie. You know, yeah, where was I? Oh yeah, so Peter's life sucks as Spider-Man now, and also as Peter Parker. But it doesn't suck as bad as it does as for Peter's life versus Spider-Man's life. So, throughout the film, he's conflicted if he's, well, I'm telling you what this film is about, because the film doesn't do it. It touches on that he's conflicted in the halfway point that he's conflicted about being Spider-Man, and that's when it gets to the bad. See, up until the first act, the film is a little boring, but not bad. It's not good, but it's tolerable. Then when it gets to the halfway point, that's when we bring that was established. This happens once it gets to after Peter celebrates his birthday, and Harry and MJ and Aunt May are there celebrating his like birthday. And it's been 2 years after Uncle Ben's death, which Peter has kind of, but sort of not at the same time taken, and also not taken responsibility. It's kind of confusing where Peter stands on his responsibility to Uncle Ben's death throughout this franchise. Until we get to the third one. It's unclear where he thinks that Uncle Ben's death is his fault, like in the comics, or someone else's fault. Like they were kind of, I'm guessing Stu was kind of, Raimi was kind of pushing that he blamed someone else, but the studio was telling him, no man, don't do this. You're going to piss everyone off. This ain't the 80s anymore. Probably blah 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 blah. Studio is controlling him, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe he wanted Peter Parker to take responsibility, but the studio wanted the other way around for Peter to blame someone else. Or it could be the studio wanted Peter Parker to take responsibility for Uncle Ben's death, and Raimi wanted him to not take responsibility but blame someone else. It's very unclear, and especially in this one. This one is the most unclear where his guilt stands or his anger stands towards Uncle Ben's death. I mean, yeah, he does take responsibility and admits what he did was wrong towards Aunt May, and tells Aunt May the truth. But I don't know, it felt almost forced to me, and out of nowhere a little bit. Oh yeah, he does that after he decides to give up being Spider-Man, because in the halfway point, it's not really explained why he's has his powers, but the next moment doesn't have his powers. But I always believe it was because of post-traumatic stress, which is trauma he has suffered in the past. I feel like this now is getting to him, of the guilt he's carrying, and I don't know. That's my best guess, and also that's film theory's best guess. But it's not really spelled out to us, the audience, what's causing him to lose his powers. He just goes to see a doctor, and he qualifies for trauma, but the movie doesn't want to say it's trauma. But unless it's something, what if it's something else? But yeah, that's the thing. We don't know what is never acknowledged what's causing him to lose his powers. It really doesn't make any sense. And that's like a big arc of his character growth, and it's just not knowledge, and it's not even knowledge what caused that. In the third installment, the most hated Spider-Man film in the Raimi trilogy, which I liked it, but you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. It just, I don't know. It doesn't have. Even if it was just brief, I wouldn't mind it. But there's no brief moment what's causing Peter's powers to act up, to go away, and malfunction, and blah blah blah. It's just giving me a headache thinking about this. Oh, it's such a serious headache I gave myself, because I really had to try to think of what was causing him to not. I'm stumped. I just don't know what's making him lose his powers on a regular daily basis. Like one minute he'll have it. The next minute he doesn't have it. But the next minute he'll have it again. And he wonders why this is happening. He says, why is this happening to me? That's basically, so basically this is supposed to be a very important part of the story, but for some reason, it's not expressed at all. It's spelled out of what's causing his powers to be like this. It's not even explained in the 2.1 cut, which is the extended cut of this film. So I was kind of hoping maybe if the extended cut could at least because I was kind of hoping that the extended cut could acknowledge this. And oddly, the thing is, that's my biggest problem with the film. I'm sorry, but it really bothers me. It probably wouldn't bother me much if I didn't have OCD. If I wasn't born with OCD, it probably wouldn't bother me as much. But it bothers me a lot. Well, I could kind of get behind the relationship that was told in the sequel, the love story between Peter and MJ, because Peter wants to take off pick up where they left off. Now he doesn't have powers, and MJ points out you can't just pick up when you never started, even when you get married. And when you get married, but Taro, she's getting married and engaged to her fiance. It's not that simple, and it's not that simple. And Peter says, "I don't think it's that complicated." Peter, the incompetent moron. Well, at least this version is, but I can't say the one in Kong wouldn't do something that's stupid. I mean, he would do stupid stuff, but not this stupid. He wouldn't actually ask a girl to go out with him while she's engaged, and just because he lost his spider powers, he wanted to say, "Oh, I lost my spider powers. Now I have no responsibility. I'm going to ask the girl my dreams out." and then gets rejected because it's complicated. It's not that easy, Peter. But he doesn't get it. And it makes me want to strangle the living shit out of him. I was like, my God. It's like, wow. Sorry. It's like, wow. Wow. Lots of stupid pills you've been taking, Peter. And, the movie kind of addressed that Peter's acting like an idiot, was being so romantically interested in MJ, but not wanting to be with her. Then he wants to be with her, but very more romantic interested. And he says, "I'm reading poetry," and she's like, "What the fuck does that mean, you idiot?" Okay, she doesn't say that. She's like saying, whatever that means. And although it kind of fits MJ's stupidity, because she's also hitting on him, and after his birthday, while also saying, "I'm seeing someone now," and she thinks he thinks a therapist. No. He thinks a therapist. It's not a therapist. Okay, Jake. Go to your happy face. Okay. And and she says Ross Bourne that is her fiance. She's saying after she spent a minute and a half flirting with him, and she says, and he says, his move, one of his suave moves to move a woman. He says, "I hunch," and she says, "Don't. He's so dreamy." She has that look like, don't hunch. It's so fucking hilarious. But that is sadly the cutest thing you gotta give for a romantic you get in this movie before MJ and get. That's the most romantic thing they get. That's the most. That's the most romantic scene that has to offer before MJ and Peter get together in the third one. Then they break up. Oh boy. Yeah, so Peter. Oh, Peter. Peter Parker. Oh, and he also skipped one little act in this. Dr. Octopus is in this, and he communicates telepathically with these McCallums who's basically manipulating and pulling his strings. And he thinks he's doing the thinking for himself. Then Spider-Man points out that they're pulling his strings, and don't let them turn you into something you're not, he says to Octopus in the third act. After Peter finally gets his powers back, yeah, it's kind of out of nowhere, and MJ gets kidnapped by Dr. Octavius, and it leads to very really exciting action scenes with Peter stopping a train with his spine and all of his brute force. He stops the train with all of his brute force going how many miles an hour, and he eventually stops it. And this is when he takes off. This is actually he takes off his mask because there was sparky stuff on his mask, so he had to take it off because his mask was going to catch on fire. But somehow these kids got hold of his mask, and they bring it to him and promise they won't tell anyone. This is a very emotional scene, and turns out those two kids are Maguire's little brothers. Actually, I watched the commentary. That's how I know. Or are they his cousins? I forget. They're his cousins or brothers, and they do a really good job. And this is the only time when I see Maguire actually giving a shit in this film, with his acting. Yeah, the rest of the time he's completely phoning it. Look, I could kind of understand maybe he didn't know what he was doing in the first one, therefore was a little scared to fuck it up. Therefore, they might have edited him out of the film a little too much, but not enough to make him popular. But then in the second one, they decided to have him be the front instead of the intention of the film. And Maguire's just phoning it in as fuck. He has the balls to phone this in. Oh, Dr. Octavius, he's no different. I forget what the actor's name is. It sounds like I forget what it was. What is anyway, he's phoning it out as well because I know he's phoning it because I've seen him and other stuff, and I know he can act. Stan goes for Maguire. I seen you in Pleasantville. I know you're better than this. So I know he's phoning it. Don't think I'm not watching, Maguire. I'm coming for you. If you do it again to Spider-Man and Spider-Man 4, if there ever is Spider-Man 4, I will hunt you down and we are going to have a serious talk. That's not violent. There's really strong, inappropriate words. And, sorry, I got carried away there. I know. You know what? So MJ, well, she ditches her fiance's wedding and doesn't get married to him and goes to Peter's doorstep and decides that she wants to be with Peter no matter what the cost is. And it ends with Peter getting a happy ending until Spider-Man 3. And she ends with the last words of her saying, "Go get him, Tiger." And he puts on, he's finally happy. He is finally happy in this depressing film. And he puts on the Spider-Man and swings and going to kick ass as Spider-Man. And probably quit. Like the Spider-Man in the comics. Yeah, we didn't got to see Spider-Man quit by that much, any less than the first one, right? Happy? I'm not. I'm not.